Looks like we're live. Welcome. My name is Manny Wolf, and thank you for checking this out. I'm going to tell you a little bit about how to make the switch that you probably hear people talking about from chasing after your clients to having them come to you. The one thing that I did that was able to make this a reality in my life was, and it seems counterintuitive, but I stopped chasing. Let me tell you what I mean. When I got into this space and was trying to figure out how to get clients online, I would run down every single client. I would run down every single lead. And there's something to be said for paying close attention to your leads and following up with them. But when I shifted from trying to sell all the time to awareness, which is to say putting content out there that shows my value, shows my expertise, but doesn't necessarily always have a pitch in it. That's when everything changed. So that's what I want to suggest to you. Counterintuitively, make less offers that are better and spend more time earning people's trust by showing up with good value, entertainment, and personality. So that can be that can be a hard switch for people. It feels so counterintuitive. It feels so crazy. And especially when all the messaging that you're hearing is around, how many offers are you making? Want more sales, make more offers, all this kind of mentality. There's something to be said for both. What I mean by that is they both work. They both will ultimately lead you to getting clients. But let me tell you what I like better about the approach that I sort of stumbled upon, I guess. I sort of stumbled upon it. It's not that I made it up or invented it. It's not that no one else has ever talked about it. It's that a couple of years ago, I decided that I would take the advice of a mentor and I would start creating content. And then, and by the way, boosting this content out to a larger audience. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But when I first started, I said, okay, I'm going to do this because this person I'm paying a lot of money to tells me to do it and says it works. So if I'm the kind of person that pays you a lot of money to learn from you and then doesn't do what you suggest, that makes me a bad client. So I did it and I really doubled down on it. And this would have been about the starting of 2019. I really doubled down on this idea of I'm just going to listen to this person, this mentor, and do what they say. And so I started creating content pretty much on the daily, video content. And on a profile, this where you're seeing me now, on my profile, I began to do daily live streams. And on my page, I began to boost short videos. And in the beginning, I made a lot of mistakes. Those short videos were all sort of, they had pressure behind them. They had pressure like I was trying to sell you something. And I was not getting the results I wanted. When I started to switch over to just really taking the time to position myself, show you who I am as a person, show you what my expertise is, share with you my experiences, let you into my life, all through this little pieces of content that were no longer than a minute each. I would take and interpret success quotes, things like that. I would teach little ideas, but all of them would be in these very short form pieces of content. And I just put them out there. No pitch, no offer. And I'd spend my money to get them out in front of a bigger audience through boosting. And what happened very, very rapidly, what happened was people I had never seen before, never heard from before. And when I went and checked, people that were not on my friends list began to show up in my messenger. I kid you not, asking me how to work with me. At first, it was just one here and one there. And then it turned into what I would say, I would call it a nice, consistent little stream. And if I was ballparking what that led to in terms of business revenue that I wouldn't otherwise have had, I would say somewhere around $130,000 over the course of the year. In people coming to me, asking me how to work with me, people that I had never offered, I had never pitched to, and I had never even known about. Some of those clients then went on to, as all clients do, to work with me in higher and higher capacities. And some of them still work with me. Like, I want you to really think about that. So this idea of not always chasing, not always pitching, not always selling, but always positioning, always sort of building your personal brand in a strategic way. This idea changed, it changed everything for me, right? 2019 was the best year I had ever had. 2020, well, we all know 2020 has been chaotic and surprising to say the least, but still, it's been a pretty good year for me. And I expect the end of the year to be very powerful financially, just so that we're being clear here. But what I really want you to understand is there is a way to shift what you do so that people come to you more. Now, some of you watching this will maybe know that if you do raise your hand to say yes to an offer I make, then I do follow up with you, right? And so when I say, that you don't have to chase people, I don't define chasing as following up and making sure people, do or don't buy. That's just common sense sales follow through. But what I do mean is that you can create a positioning where people do come to you. And I want this for everybody because I hated sales calls so much and I hated prospecting so much. The difference between having to go after someone who's pretty cold and having people come to you. And I don't want to use those cheesy marketing, with their wallets out begging you to take their money. But I literally had a situation where one lady who I had never heard from before, I didn't know her, turned out she had been following me for over a year watching my content. And as we're chatting in Messenger, I found myself slipping into sort of trying to close her. And she said to me, "You don't have to close me, just send me the link and tell me where to pay." So in a way, like I really had that, wallet out begging me to take their money situation. I'm not saying that when you see people put that on sales pages, it's not bad copy. I think that's bad copy. But the thing is that when you spend time and energy and strategy positioning yourself, you will get people coming to you, right? And most of this is driven by boosting content. Now, you can do it just on your profile as well, but your profile gets static after a while because the most you can have on it is 5,000 people. You never reach all 5,000 of those people, not ever. And so maybe you reach 500 if you're really dynamic. When you can just pay Facebook a little bit of money and you can literally buy new audience members. There's nothing wrong with that I can see. In fact, my bank account loved me for it, right? I think I spent maybe $8,000 over the course of the year last year boosting content and probably brought in about $130 just from people who I had never heard from before. People that were not my friends, people that were basically strangers to me, coming to me, asking me how to work with me. So what I want you to understand is that if you position yourself by showing up more just as an expert, just as someone who's helping, demonstrating your personality, letting people into your life, what happens is two things. One, and this is by far the best as far as I'm concerned, is that you'll have people start coming to you, which is a big shift. The other is that when you do make offers, they're better received. Pretty cool. Because the thing that I think so few people think about is if you are boosting content, what that means is that even your profile where you make your offers is reaching more people because people have followed you, they've friended you, they've liked you, and Facebook will still show them your content. So it's pretty cool. So this has been your moment of Zen today in how to start rethinking how you attract clients. Hope you got a lot out of this.